Hello, everyone. It's Kelly and Arthur. How
Hi.
are you? It's the Love Shows coming in hot to share a little bit more information with you guys about becoming the CEO of your own health. Isn't that something that you want?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Arthur and I kind of always have thought as physical therapists, we were kind of that, becoming, the best part of us version of ourselves and our health. But honestly, what we've realized is some of the things that we were doing may have been actually leading to poor health or
Yeah.
damaging our health, maybe is a better
So
way.
really, like the big question we want to talk about today, right, is how you're living your health may actually be damaging to your health. All those things that we think are good for us, that are promoting better health, maybe we weren't quite leveling up to the point we thought we were, right?
Absolutely. So let me ask you guys this. I will say that throughout most of our lifetime, that the top two things for our health that were like, top of mind, what we worked on is exercise and food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We liked eating. Don't get me wrong. We enjoy eating. But we were pretty aware of things that we thought were bad for us. For instance, number one, we really eliminated fast foods.
Got rid of fast food, got rid of sodas, junky drinks like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, right? How many of you guys out there used to like think Diet Coke was like, oh, I'm healthy?
Oh yeah, when we got married, you got me to switch from regular Dr. Pepper to Diet Dr. Pepper, and I thought, okay, it's a step in the right direction. Only to realize, actually, no, diet drinks are in many respects worse than regular sodas.
Yeah, we know sugar is the big baddie, but actually artificial sugars are even probably the supreme big baddie.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And historically, we thought we were eating well, right? Getting our fruits and vegetables and trying to eat some fish and trying to eat lean meats and things like that. But we didn't really understand the value of eating organic, right? Mm-hmm. Of really getting rid of that extra layer of pesticides, insecticides, fungicides, herbicides, of making sure that our produce wasn't sprayed with antibiotics before we're consuming it.
Not only did they taste better when we switched, but honestly, they have more nutrients as well.
I heard just again the other day, I think on one of Dr. Hyman's Doctor's Pharmacy podcast, where he talked about the fact that the average apple that we buy in the store, a non-organic apple, has actually been sitting in storage for almost a year before it actually gets to the store and we're buying it.
And that's just one item, right? One item. So, we try to eliminate packaged foods. We were eating better, but really, it's kind of like our exercise. We were also stuck in the, I'll say, 80s, 90s, even 2000s of exercising, and we were really like the endurance athletes. I'm the runner, love running. Yeah, he's the cyclist.
My butt wasn't made for running. It was built for pushing pedals. So she got me running, I got her cycling, and then we started triathlons.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But it was, many of us were in the mindset of, an hour, 2 hours, just go out, power it. And now we're really realizing that where science is trending is some of that could be damaging, stressing us, our body, leading to more oxidative stress damage, burning out adrenals. So where is that balance? So probably, 6, 7 years ago, we started on this new journey of really maybe we're barely even optimizing our health.
Right.
And then 2 years ago, it was, okay, we're going to take a deep dive because we want to live the healthiest, the longest possible.
Right, because truly it's not about necessarily living a longer life, but living as healthy as you can for as long as you can, right? I mean, I don't care if I live to be 80, 90, 100, 120. I'm fine with that as long as I'm healthy, I don't want to become this decrepit, person stuck in a wheelchair and I can't move. So, staying active, staying vital, is really so important. So how do we impact that health span? How do we get our bodies functioning at the optimal level? And realizing that, yes, eating well is a big part of it. It is. It's putting the right stuff into your body, right?
It is. And you guys, I'm going to back up for a moment in case some of you are new to Arthur and I at the Love Shows. our background is we're both physical therapists.
Yeah.
And so we have seen the lives of people that haven't taken care of their health, or they're not taking care of their health optimally. And they've led to some pretty devastating health issues that have prevented them from really living life to the fullest.
Yeah, from having that true long health span.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, we've watched that happen. Clients that we're meeting, patients we're working with, even some of our own family members over the years. And it's like, wait, you know, is that going to be our fate? You know, and what can we do to change it? So, you know, that's where we started. You know, the first step was, wow, okay, let's eat better. But then we started realizing, oh no, even the food we're eating is not as nutritionally viable as those same foods were 40 and 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Our soil's not as good as it was 40 and 50 years ago. And, you know, changes in how we exercise, realizing that as much as we love some of those endurance events, like the long bike rides or going out for a big run, you know what, there's a value to some strength training. There's a value to lifting heavy weights and moving stuff around, of having that high intensity stuff. So you're getting aerobic and anaerobic and strength training, and having a variety of different things, right? So it's not just one.
It is. And having things that you like. And you guys, we're going to go in each of these a little bit of a deeper dive in health of food and nutrition. But I want to make sure that right now, really take a look at what's in your refrigerator and take a look at what's in your pantry, and make sure that most of the food you're eating and you're making is coming out of your refrigerator, and it's not all of that boxed food. If you've got just some oils in your cupboard, honestly, unless they're your avocado oil, your olive oil, probably need to get rid of those because they're not serving you. There's some really basic changes that you guys can start as a family, and looking at, be sure every single meal you're adding in your greens, because we used to eat tons of fruit, and we're really realizing that sometimes even the fruits are full of sugars and may not be the healthiest. So all I can say is pick one small change, right? I mean, I think in order for all of us to move forward.
Yeah, and just like talking about your oils, Kelly, I mean, you know, so many of us realized that, okay, we need to move to using olive oil instead of, you know, corn oil or vegetable oil. But now we're even understanding further that actually you can't cook with olive oil because olive oil doesn't handle high heat. It breaks down. So actually avocado oil for cooking is much better. And then your olive oil, which has got so many great properties to it, that should just be like sprinkled over your vegetables or over a salad,
right?
And you should be eating that, you know, in a cold state, not heated up where it breaks down.
Yeah. And one other secret, you guys, I do have to say, you know, butter. Again, we used to think just like diet soda was better. We kind of thought butter was bad.
Yeah.
People were starting to have all those butter substitutes like margarine and Smart. I don't even know what they're called
anymore. I can't believe it's not butter.
I can't believe it's not
Country
butter.
Crock. You know.
Again, go back to butter. Go back to butter.
And not just butter, grass-fed butter.
Get
right?
your Kerrygold, and we go through that
not
stuff.
Not that we're like selling a brand here. That's Kerrygold is just what we have around here. That's, you know, grass-fed butter, but I do like it. But I think the other thing that goes along with all this, Kelly, is that I think for a certain point, even for us, we actually allowed finances to start becoming the limiting factor to what we did and how we did it. Mm-hmm. Whether it was what food we were buying or what exercises we were partaking in. Because, I mean, let's face it, sometimes buying organic food or buying grass-fed meat, it is a little more expensive. You know, paying that little bit extra to go to a Pilates class, a spin class, a hot yoga class, you know, it is a little bit more of an investment, but you have to recognize it's an investment in you. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the cost of being healthy versus the cost of not being healthy, the cost of not being healthy is far higher.
I mean, you're going to pay for it today or you're going to pay for it later. And if you wait till later is going to be a lot more money later. And so we really realize that is where can we look at our finances to make sure we are, you know, able to purchase the foods that we want. Again, we all have certain budgets, but it's where you're going to, you know, balance the budget.
Right. We all make choices, right? We all make choices.
Move the money from here to here, spend on different things. And then really being sure, maybe it's just you finding that right community that you have accountability and a partnership of something that you enjoy for exercise, right? You need to love it, enjoy it. So the happiness and being around people that are uplifting. And again, maybe it's just for you going out for a walk, right? You love nature, you love going outside and getting that sunshine and a walk, whatever that is. But make sure you have that a little bit of balance in your life.
Yeah, for years, Kelly, I've been a martial artist. I played tennis. I love golf. And I stopped doing so many of those things for a long period of time because we were just on the hamster wheel, right? We were in the rat race. It was all about work, 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 work. But I realized that a little that joy of life, right? That joie de vivre was going away. It was seeping out of me because I wasn't engaged in those other things that I love and the communities of people that I knew and met and could be involved with.
Have so
that.
much fun.
Yeah,
right?
so it is so important.
You guys, I'm going to share we're going to move on to a couple other things, but like I said, this past couple years, what really opened up our eyes, and I hope for many of you, you haven't stopped learning. That's the big thing is we've been like reading. How can we help ourselves?
Yeah.
How can we help our family, our patients? So these are just some of the books. And I mean, we've got bookshelves of them, but whether you're talking about Dr. David Perlmutter, he has a series of books, but his first one here is The Grain Brain. The second I have on my hands on is Dave Asprey. He is the big guy that's coined biohacking. And he talks about such really great things, and he's experimented, and some of them might be for you and some of them might not be for you, but it's just an awareness and education of what's out there today. And even I love this
Dr.
guy.
Alberto Villoldo, okay, Grow a New Body. Wow, what a book. And then one of that I've been reading recently, Dr. David Sinclair, Lifespan. Why we age, why we don't have to.
Why we don't have to.
Why we don't
right?
have to. Yeah.
And that's really where we're going with
really,
all of
really
this stuff.
Amazing, incredible stuff.
Yeah. So, a couple other things that we've implemented because we want to make sure that you are doing things to make sure your health and your livelihood and vitality is as long as possible. So 2 years ago, Arthur and I started meditation. I think I probably got him doing it kicking and screaming, if you want to be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't my thing. It wasn't my jam. I didn't really understand it. I was like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Sit cross-legged on the floor with my fingers, around me going, woosah.
I too, honestly,
I thought it was like woo-wooey. I didn't know.
Out there. But from my research and learning and listening to books, podcasts, you name it, you guys, the science behind meditation, and again, we're science people. So the science behind it really got my attention of, holy cow, that could really help my longevity of my life. And we started out not knowing much. Yep. I found a few podcasts. Then I went and I found a woman named Emily Fletcher, found her off of actually Dr. Mark Hyman, some of his podcasts. And I thought, I'm going to do it. So we actually invested in a class, a 14-day class. She taught us what is meditation, what's expectations of meditation, how to implement a meditation practice. And she really held our hand per se and walked us through. And then about a year and a half later, I was ready to take it to the next level. So then recently we're taking a much bigger, deeper dive with a gentleman named Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's a chiropractor by background, but I'm not going to get into his work today, but it goes beyond just the meditations that most of us are hearing, like yoga, meditation, gratitude. It actually starts talking about quantum physics. Yeah. It's talking about you can actually...
And truly, to keep it simple, Kelly, I mean, we're really talking about life hacks, right?
Yeah.
All of these different things we're talking about are hacks, right? Ways we're tapping into, breaking into, optimizing our health on different levels. And that's truly what, Kelly and I have really started to just be so passionate, excited about, is how are we hacking our health span? So food, exercise, meditation, sleep. Sleep is so important, right?
About 3 years ago now, we were at a conference, and on stage, we had the privilege of being educated by the sleep doctor, Dr. Michael Bruce.
Yep, Michael Bruce.
Oh my gosh, he's amazing. You can go online, take his free sleep test. You can find out what chronotype you are for sleeping. It's pretty interesting, really. But we found some, probably 4 or 5 really key components of sleep that are helping us.
Yeah. And ultimately what I would say, guys, is so many of us thought we could just, live on that 6 hours of sleep, right? Go to bed at midnight, be up at 6 a.m. Or
we just needed 7-8 hours, and any 7-8 hours didn't matter.
Right. But it's not just how long you're sleeping. It is the quality of the sleep you're getting and all the little things you can do to create the right environment to have that good quality sleep. And there's so many, we've talked about this a little bit before. We'll talk about it again in the future, but
We'll just give
truly,
a couple tips,
a couple little things.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, and again, I hope this is commonplace now, but many of us, we're just burning the midnight oil, not paying attention, of turning down screen time, right? 30 to 60 minutes before you settle down, and maybe even longer for some people. Now they're even saying maybe up to 2 hours, calming down your system. What Arthur really loves, and I do too, is dark.
I need
You can't
a
even have any
dark
lights,
room.
dark.
I got to shut everything off, and cold, right?
And very cold.
A cold room is also going to help you sleep. And another really big one is consistency.
Yeah, this was a hard one for us. And I think any of you out there, either an entrepreneur running your own business, or if you have kids, having consistent sleep is difficult.
Meaning consistent to bedtime, consistent wake up time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you don't want to be all over the map, crashing at 8 p.m. some days, staying up till 2 a.m. others. If your bedtime's 10 p.m., be in bed at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If your wake up time is 6 a.m., be up at 6. And whether it's weekdays, weekends, try to keep it pretty consistent.
I give myself a little wiggle room on the weekend, just a little wiggle room.
Oh, and that snooze button?
Yeah. I was a big snoozer. But your body doesn't like it. I promise you. We think it is at the moment. Oh, just 10 more minutes. It actually doesn't do us any good. So anyways, so sleep. Hack your sleep.
Okay. Another one you got to hack and look after and treat with tremendous care, your relationships. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got to treat your relationships like they're gold. Okay. They're precious. They're so valuable. I mean, for Kelly and I, as many of you may know, this is a second marriage. We were both married before, and when we chose to start a life together and bring our kids together to make one family, it was so important to us to avoid pitfalls and mistakes that maybe had happened previously in our lives. And it's not that everything is all sunny and roses. Every relationship takes work, right? I mean, it takes effort. It takes, like a garden, you have to tend it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to nurture it. And there are things in life let's face it, guys, life's on all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
At some point, those hiccups come along that can derail us. And just in the past year and a half, we've experienced that again with some losses in the family. My mother passed away a little over a year ago. And it was truly surprising. Honestly, I can say it was surprising to me how much that affected me. So much more than I ever realized. And then how it was starting to seep in and affect our relationship with each other, my relationship with our children, our relationships outside of the house with friends, with colleagues, so relationships exist on many different levels. And on all of them, we have to look after them. We have to nurture them. And we have to recognize when they're good and feeding our souls and we're feeding other people's souls, or when they're negative.
Absolutely.
And toxic.
Taken away from our
relationships
joy.
that shouldn't be in our lives. And we've had to cull some of those things out of our lives too. So
yes, true. And what I want to say is, I think we all, we're working, we're taking care of family, we're doing our thing, but sometimes it's not like, am I really fulfilling my soul? Together, are we talking? Maybe one person of the household is more of the financial breadwinner than the other. Arthur and I have the pleasure and privilege of working together in all of our aspects. But sometimes
it's because you're say the curse and the bane of working together.
But sometimes because we're together, then you just think you've talked about everything, and then we haven't. So we actually decided to do some coaching, and it's not life coaching. It's really high performance coaching. We've realized we want to live our life in high performance. Yeah. And to have somebody else that you're accountable for and make you communicate and talk. Some of the topics, I would say, whether it's your relationship with your, significant other, your spouse, your children, maybe even a small group at work, but things like clarity. Are you really clear? What's your clarity of what you want out of life and what your goals, whether it's business, personal, otherwise? What is your energy? What are you doing to fuel your energy physically and mentally? Keeping that really sound. Those are things that's like, oh, if you don't, no wonder why, things start faltering. Having the courage. I think we're learning that we can pivot and do different things and have the courage to make sure we're stepping up and really following our values of many aspects of life. And are we being productive in this life? And I don't mean productive in your just workplace, but overall, are you scatterbrained? Are you organized? Like, what's your productivity level? And then kind of another big theme we've talked a lot about is influence, that we want to have positive influences on each other, on the people we surround ourselves with, for our children. And so I ask you, are you stepping up being that role model? Because whether we want to or not, we are an influence for positive or negative in our life.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really great, I think, at any age in life to sit down and revisit these things, whether it's once a year, whether it's every quarter, whether it's whatever that may be, because I think easily when life happens on you, you get derailed and you forget about all of these things. So that's what we would encourage you guys to do, is look at what you're doing in your life today, put some life hacks in place, and make sure what you're doing is really optimizing your health, because slowly over time, it's just easy to lose that focus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So we're going to be taking deeper dives into many of these topics in upcoming episodes together. But in the meantime, if you have questions or if you have topics you want us to talk about, please feel free to reach out to us. Right?
We would absolutely love to hear from you. So you can subscribe on us at Apple Podcasts or wherever you love. And we'd love a rating. That would be fabulous. You can even find us over on YouTube or just our Facebook page at thelupshas.com. And that's LUPSHAS, lupshas.com.
There's two of us. It's Lupshas, plural.
Two, or even just Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram. We're there. So thanks so much for being here today, guys. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Appreciate you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.